I really would like to kind of dive into the most controversial, one of the most controversial aspects of technology-based engagement, which is layering interpretive content right on top of arts experiences. And actually, it's not, in some sectors, it's not that controversial. And in other disciplines, it is, for good reason. And one of the things I'd like to help us all think about today is sort of what are the artistic, ethical, and even moral dimensions of this practice. What are the benefits of distracting people during arts experiences with interpretive content? What are the benefits? What is sacrificed? And I think this is one of the reasons for today, and particularly our lunchtime program, that there are real serious issues that we have to grapple with as a field before we can really move forward. So uses of technology and layered arts experiences. And as Tim mentioned, I didn't know that Supertitles started in Canada in 1953. Woo, Canadians, yay, Duncan. I'm reminded of what James Levine said when Supertitles first came out. You know the famous quote? "Over my dead body will these things be shown in this house." Over my dead. That was, yeah, he's getting there. Oh, that's bad, Joe. And so now, of course, we have wonderful personal seat-back devices. These, I can't remember the name of the company. I should, that manufactures these. Maybe, Duncan, you can help me. But they pop up out of your seat, and you can actually push a button and decide what language you'd like them displayed in. And I imagine it's only a matter of time before you can pick the sort of level of difficulty. Advanced, intermediate, or beginner. Or who knows what else? You'd be able to plug in your earbuds and have it be in one ear. I don't know what's the future of this, but it's personalized now, and this is just moving from projected supertitles to the same concept on the back of a seat. It's creating wonderful new opportunities. Figaro systems, I should give credit where it's due. Expandable, adaptable, versatile, and coming to a venue near you. A number of years ago, gosh now, maybe 10 years ago? No, it can't be. Eight? A gentleman named Roland Valliere, who now runs the Columbus Symphony Orchestra in Columbus, Ohio. He was, at the time, the head of the Kansas City Symphony, and he left to undertake this project. Concert Companion was called, or COCO. A handheld device at the time. These were PDAs. Connected to a wireless signal, and you would hold it in your hand during a concert, and there was someone backstage following a score, changing the screen, advancing screens, so that as you listened to a concert, you could read on your device, you could read something about what you were hearing in real time. It was a radical concept at the time. I was involved as an evaluator. I got to do the post-performance focus groups with the users. It was very, very interesting. We tested it in Kansas City, New York Philharmonic, where the pianist threatened to withdraw. I kid you not, because he was so affronted by the idea that people would be watching anything but himself. And so I'll just show you, these are just some screenshots for the PDA. We did the Firebird suite, and Robert Winter, is a brilliant musicologist, wrote this. And it's very idiomatic writing. You know, you have to write a sentence about every 20 seconds and time it to, you know, the music. So you'd have the screen, and there's sections you can see on the right-hand side. Introduction, Dance of the Firebird. Now, this was a great piece to do this because it's episodic and it's programmatic, right? So the introduction, and I just love Robert Winters, with a mysterious twisting in their deepest, most lugubrious register, muted cellos and double basses launch this cobbled-together Russian fairy tale of good versus evil. And as you go through, you know, you would advance, and you would read things like, now the flutes play the Firebird theme. And, you know, in focus group tests, this was a revelationary experience for people. It was hard work. It was a totally different experience. I mean, imagine, you have to use both sides, you have to toggle between both sides of your brain. You have to read something and then listen, but you're instantly rewarded. And then you read, and you listen, and you get that validation back and forth. It's a fundamentally different experience than just sitting and listening. And afterwards, people who said they had heard the piece 20 times say, now I understand this work of art, and now I want to go back and hear it without the device. You know, and I thought, wow, this could open up classical music to a generation of people. But Roland was very focused on the device, not the content. I thought, for God's sake, just build demand for the content. You know, for heaven's sake, do supertitles. You know, it's okay. Supertitles are okay. They're accepted. You know, everyone's like, oh, we can't possibly do that in a concert hall because then everyone has to look at them, and what if some people don't want to look at them? And so it didn't advance. And it's a rotten shame. I think it's potentially held back the art form for 8 years, and potentially new audience. So I offer somewhere, there's a bunch of great content written and ready to be, you know, reignited. In dance, we are starting to see supertitles. 2 summers ago, the Graham Company toured with a full evening piece, Clytemnestro, with supertitles. Oh my gosh, supertitles at a dance performance, heaven forbid. Here's what one critic wrote: supertitles help audiences approach what could, without context, come across as a museum piece, heaven forbid. Spoken often humorous introductions. It's tempting to dismiss these efforts as heretical, but they seem to engage viewers. All right, now some people hate them and some people love them. And the whole point is that you get to choose. Now, in a theater with supertitles, it's kind of hard not to see them. Some people, it's, you know, but you don't have to look. So I think it's coming. Now, this is really wild. I'm going to pop out to a browser here and attempt to show you a website created through Ohio State University. This is a video of a contemporary dance piece performed in a warehouse. And you're listening to an ambient soundtrack. And this is a dashboard. And on the right here, you can actually change the view of what you're looking at. You can choose a close-up view, a wider front view, a top view. You can cue annotations, so they have like illustrators drawing lines that actually show the architecture of the dance. Let's choose the close-up view. See if we get the annotations. It's a very memory-intensive website. It's amazing it's working at all. And then you can choose how to layer the sound. There's actually a score. And there's the choreographer kind of singing. And if all of that sounds rather bizarre, you can turn it off.
Get this rhythm of alternation.
You can hear the choreographer talking about the work as you watch it.
I see it as a sort of universal thing.
And down here is some amazing sort of diagram of what you're watching.
It's used in animation. You can watch, anything from Pixar, and there's spectacular counterpointed choreography in the images of the actions. And I think it'd be good.
Okay, we don't have time to go further. It's really kind of, oops, that's the wrong presentation. Okay, great. So the point is you can make choices. You can decide how you want to watch it, which view you want, what sound, what audio experience you want, if you want the diagram. You know, what experience is this similar to, right? It's like watching a DVD at home and being able to choose. In the theater, you know, this is perhaps most controversial, right? At home watching DVDs, we all have choices to make. And we can watch the director's cut. I had a bit of an epiphany a couple months ago in Toronto. I was at a reception talking with a woman who trains the people who do audio descriptions for the blind. She was telling me about her organization. And I thought, why do you have to be blind to have a description? And I think of all the theaters with infrared headsets that are unused night after night. And I'm wondering someday soon if you will be able to opt for an audio description in one ear where perhaps the director or someone else is whispering in your ear about what's happening or what to look for, or questioning you as to why someone might be doing something on stage, right? Sounds radical. You have to co-process stimuli. But I'm always amazed how I watch people reading and listening to music at the same time on the subway. I can't do that, but a lot of people can. And you know, parents exasperated by their kids who are watching television and doing their homework at the same time. I can't do that, but a whole generation of young people are learning how to bifurcate their attention. And you can argue whether that's bad or good, but the fact is that it's happening, and more brains are becoming accustomed to co-processing visual and oral stimuli. In museums, they're way ahead of us. They've been doing layered experiences for many, many years. They're getting more sophisticated. And my favorite example, just to close with, are the students in New York who recorded their own audio tours of MoMA and posted them online as podcasts, right? Saying, here's what we think is interesting about MoMA. And you know, making that available. Anyway, just to summarize, interpretive assistance, you know, can be authorized or unauthorized, right? Optional or not, live or digital, range of technologies, free or paid. I'm constantly impressed how much people value that little extra insight that gives them, that makes the arts experience resonate. Not everyone wants it, but some people want it, and I hypothesize that more and more people want help appreciating art, and that we have a real moral question to deal with, which is at what price are we willing to pay to do that? So really, that's really all I have to say. We'll explore this issue a little further at lunchtime. My time is up. Thank you.